All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Daniel Klein. Welcome to After Hours with Joseph's Videos. I'm joined by the wonderful Mark Dawson. Mark, dude, how's it going tonight?
Hey, how's it going, Daniel? I'm doing just fine. A little rainy here, but we have a great show planned, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. So tonight we're talking about growth hacking 101. So if you're not sure what growth hacking is or how to do it, but you've heard about it, or you want to increase your organic marketing capabilities, here's how you go about that. So tonight we're going to be talking about what is growth hacking and how to implement it for your small, medium-sized business. Really any size business, but we'll start off with the basics. So first and foremost, Mark, have you ever heard of growth hacking?
Yes, of course I have, Daniel. Or
Okay,
could you
cool.
do this?
In
If you,
what
hey, hold on,
circumstances did you
Daniel.
hear
If
about
you're
it?
going to use any business model tonight, lawn care maintenance is off the table.
Okay,
All right. I want you to pretend that you have a bowling alley.
a bowling alley. Okay, done. All right, so we're going with growth hacking for a bowling alley, but agree with you. This could be for any business. All right,
Yes.
so we're talking.
I'm just giving Daniel a hard time.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So, growth hacking is a term. It's been around for at least a decade or two. But it's how Hulu got additional users. It's how Twitter and Facebook have grown in popularity so quickly, and it uses it's a marketing strategy where you use your current user base to grow your user base. You use your current subscribers to grow additional subscribers. And the idea is that you incentivize things or you gamify things so that you don't have to work as hard to get additional users, subscribers, customers, whatever. But other people speak on your behalf, which is a beautiful thing, and it's a cheap thing to do as well. If you have 100,000 people and 100,000 people are talking about you, it's easier to get to 1 million people than if you were talking to 100,000 people trying to grow that to 1 million people, right? It's just a factor. So first and foremost, that's what growth hacking is. It's a way to get your users to get you additional users. So for our bowling alley example, so first and foremost, you have clients that go to the bowling alley. They purchase things. Incentivize the purchase. So when they rent a lane, when they have a party, when they do other types of things that you want to promote or kind of spread the word on, incentivize those things. So you can offer 25% off the next visit kind of thing. That's transferable to a friend. You can do this with e-commerce as well. So I'm segueing a little bit. If you have an e-commerce shop or you have a brick and mortar shop, right? So incentivize the next visit. So they come in for a drink, they get 50% off the next one, which is transferable to a friend. If they buy something online, you email them a special coupon code that is also transferable to a friend. Or better yet, take it one step further and say something like, if you send me a picture of you using my product, if you send a picture on
Yes.
Instagram of you at my bowling alley lanes or opening the box that I send you for my e-commerce shop, then I will send you a coupon code. So that's step one and step two. So step one is offering an incentive to making a secondary purchase or transferring that incentive to a friend who then learns about your product or service. So incentivizes the telling of your product. But if you add it to social media, now it's not just me telling Mark about your great thing. It's me telling Mark about your great thing, and all of our social circles also hear about your great thing. And so I post a picture of me at the bowling alley, and I say, Mark, dude, here's a coupon that I just got. It's transferable to you. Use this coupon code next time you show up, and you can join us. And then I post a picture on Instagram. I use a hashtag, right? So say post a picture and use a hashtag. So the hashtag could be Dan's Bowling Alley. It could be at Dan's Bowling Alley, right? So it could be my hashtag or my user ID so that I can link all these photos to a common place. So all the hashtags go to a common place, or you link to my Facebook or Twitter or Instagram account so that I can track all this stuff. And then the search, I'll just type in hashtag Dan's bowling alley, just like you could you could search for your hashtags, and you can find all these photos that people are posting, and then you can send them with a direct message the coupon code. They send it to their friends, or they use the coupon code later, and then all their social circles learn about your product. So what we're really doing is we're spreading user stories of people who love and enjoy and take part in your services or goods, and incentivizing that propagation of their user stories. So that's essentially how I would growth hack a bowling alley, Mark.
Sure, sure. I was kind of painting Daniel into a corner with the bowling alley because the bowling alley is not an e-commerce or internet site, so you have to bring people to a specific location. Rarely would you see a mobile bowling alley or something like that, but you'll even see big name stores like Target doing this. So if I were to take a selfie of myself, and this is obviously encouraged at Target or back to school shopping or something like that, they they will repost it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. They incentivize that using coupons, as Daniel suggested. There's also some airlines that are really big on this. Since we don't have any we don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not going to name names. I just named Target, but we don't have any big sponsors yet. Hint, hint. But I know of one airline that I will not mention because it's not in the family, not Daniel's family, that has gone pretty crazy with social media in that they encourage the stewardesses and their passengers to be live tweeting, delays and stuff like that, and on the plane and after and before, and really making their pilots kind of like public figures or like all stars and stuff. And I think that's really great. I think that's really interesting, and it adds another level of personalization to their service. That these are real people, not just a big conglomerate that takes your money and runs away with it. That they employ people too who are interested in what you're doing and the trips you're taking and stuff. And so I think that's really smart of them to embrace social media that way. You'll see large companies do it, small companies do it. If you can find just a way to interact on a unique level with your customer, even if you're a small business, using social media and, like Daniel said, giving something in return, incentivizing, taking selfies at on location, taking unboxing videos and posting them and stuff like that, and incentivize that. It gives your customers another way to interact with you after you've taken their money. And it gives them a reason to remember you next time they go to make another purchase.
And you mentioned two things I really want to highlight. So the first is you mentioned pilots and stewardesses acting as kind of agents of the social media
brand
campaign.
Ambassadors. Yep.
Brand ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how I would recommend that for e-commerce, for brick and mortar, especially. Train on a weekend or an evening, have everyone come in, pay them for the hour, and train everyone on how to take a selfie and how to take pictures of a product. Have them download an app like Text on Photo or Pronto or something like that, and train them how to take a good picture of your product or a good picture of them and their coworkers working, and train them how to post on social media, and then have that part of their daily schedule.
Or have them train you, right? Because some of these kids that are on Snapchat and stuff like that use all the filters and know what they're doing. I mean, a lot of them know what they're doing. And so you can ask them and say, hey, I know I ask you to stop using your phone on the job. Can you do me a favor and use your phone more on the job?
Yeah.
And get them to be a brand ambassador for you instead of hiding their phone from you and hiding the fact that they work for you. Why not use that to your advantage and get them? Then you're creating a culture around your company and around your brand. And you have ambassadors for that culture.
Yeah. So if you have folks that are on client sites that are building things, doing things, making things, living the dream, out having a good time, post and train them to post, or have them train you to post. So that was one thing I really wanted to highlight that you said, Mark, because that's awesome and it deserves to be highlighted. Second thing that I definitely think should be highlighted that you mentioned is when people post your content, right? So going back to the initial example of post a picture on Instagram of you using our product or service or whatever, and link it to us, and then we'll send you a special coupon code. When they do that, reply to it. Don't just leave it out there in the ether. Reply to it. Say, hey, this is a great photo. This is a picture of this product, which has these things and is important or special in these ways. So help tell the story, whether it's them posting a picture of their renovated bathroom or their immaculately taken care of lawn, or if it's them enjoying their meal. Comment and reply back and say, hey, this is a great photo. Love that you loved the meal. This is our Spanish rice. It has these ingredients that come from these locations, and our owners directly source from growers in these countries. So helping tell the story, helping refine the story, being interactive and social, God forbid, on a social media platform is super key. Being there when those conversations happen is super key.
And if you don't have a lot of money to do this, or you're like, man, I don't know how I could pay for all these incentives to start. You can just start small, but even small things are used by larger companies. I'll give you an example. Have a contest, because then you only have to pay 1, 2, or 3 prizes. Okay. But you'll get a lot of play from it. When I was in downtown Atlanta, we went to Ted's Montana Grill, right? In Midtown. And so I think it was on their menu or a special like little card on each table. There was a couple of them on each table, I think, that said, hey, we're having a hamburger contest or something, right? So you take a selfie with you and your hamburger. And this is, before I order, and upload it to here on Twitter and here on Instagram. And because we're having a contest, winner gets, I think it was a all expenses paid vacation or something like that, right? So you only got to pay for one of those, but they probably got, I don't know, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands at least of selfies taken in their restaurant with their dishes, probably sometimes with waiters and waitresses, doing the thing, right? And they get a lot of play from that. I know in my experience, having a contest has just given me a lot of exposure, because people want to win a contest, but guess what? You only have to pay first, second, third place, or you have anybody, you have some kind of freebie that doesn't, kill your bottom line or something for everyone, and have a first, have just a grand prize. But that's one way to do it. So you don't have to incentivize for everyone, but everyone has a chance to win.
So I'm going to mention one more thing. Mark, when you say pay, so everyone watching this video, I want you to understand the power of what we're talking about. So it's great to have a lot of play on social media. You probably heard about why it's important, but you never see as the business owner the bottom line of why it works. So we're all familiar, I hope we're all familiar with cost per click, or some sort of paid advertising campaign on social media. And we're all aware of the costs for such a thing. So what we're talking about is outside of that, right? You aren't paying for people to post, comment, share, like, retweet, whatever. You're not paying for any of that. And they're sharing it with their friends and family who already know and trust them. So you don't have to consider yourself in the group of sponsored ad or sponsored post. We always dismiss those. Those don't work. We don't recommend them at Joseph Studios. So the power of what we offer with these types of campaigns means you can reach 100,000 people pretty darn quick. The same cost of reaching a target demographic of 100,000 people is extremely expensive. So if you have a cost per click of 10 cents and you're trying to reach 100,000 people, right? So you are going to have a cost of $10,000 to reach those 100,000 people at 10
cents is pretty low. So
10 cents is very low. You could, if you go into Google AdWords, you could be paying $8 or $9 a click. So it's very cheap.
Competitive your industry.
And then you have to consider how many people out of that 100,000 are going to convert, and then what dollar amount each of those people are, right? So over 6 months, how much is that person going to spend, and is it worth it to pay $8 a click? And we need to consider this before we start running ads, because I guarantee you it ain't paying it out. When you do a organic, influencer-led, growth hacking type social media campaign, it's the opposite, right? You reach 100,000 people and you don't have that 10 cents per click, but the same amount, the same 0.25% to 3% of people still convert. So now your margins go up and your profitability potential goes up. So it's something to keep in mind. Is it an end all be all trick? No. Is it a better trick, I think, than paid advertising? Yes. And I will always steer people towards the organic, homegrown, word of mouth approach, just amplified via social media more so than a page per click. So that's all I got for growth hacking and social media marketing for tonight. I'll turn it over to Mark. You got anything else, homie?
No. I just think if you're going to, it's really cost effective. So you should always have a marketing budget. And if you're going to invest in your marketing, why not invest in people? So they'll get you a much better return than pay-per-click will over time. So that's all.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks a lot, everybody.